years ago, and you understand completely.
Absolutely, and the kids nowadays they're making so much more money than we ever did, and they have these long-term contracts, and they have medical staff to take care of their injuries and things where we had to crawl to the ring sometimes, but I don't begrudge them at all. I'm glad for them, and I like what the product is doing because it's different, and the business has to evolve, and you know this, Percy.
Yeah, and that's the way I do agree 100% with you, and like me and you have always pretty much been on the same page. I mean, it's 2011, and there's a lot of our peers, that worked back in the days when we did and started when we did, and they just can't accept, the changes. Look, my God, look, Wayne, we got the GPS now. We got cell phones now. We got Skype now. We got computers and shit. We were lucky. We were lucky to find a 7-Eleven and pull up into town and go, "Where's wrestling tonight?" And look for a poster to find. You know what I mean? Now we got a GPS. It's going to take us right to the front door of the arena, and a cell. We were lucky to have a pager years ago, and then you had to find a telephone to call the person that was paging you on. It's a different world.
I told the people at Cauliflower Alley, the board of directors, I said, you need to change this thing from a baloney they have on Tuesday night. It's the baloney blowout banquet. I said,
right.
There's not a kid in this room that knows what that is. You guys have to change the name of it. And they have
they could call it Nintendo night, and all the boys could go back to the hotel room and play Nintendo. Right. And no offense to them, God bless them. No offense to them at all, but I understand completely. And I am a lifetime member of the Cauliflower Alley Club, and I've been numerous times, and I haven't been in the last couple of years, but I thought I was going to be able to make it this year, but I didn't. But maybe next year will be the year.
Yeah, and
I'm sorry, I didn't want to step over you. I did get to see some stuff on the internet when you were doing your the Honky Tonk Man stuff at the Cauliflower Alley. I loved it, man. That's the Wayne that I know and love. And me and Wayne have set many dressing rooms and arenas all around the country, singing George Jones and Merle Haggard and Conway Twitty, and we love our country music, don't we, Honky?
Yes, we do, and what is it? You and I both are not ready for that rocking chair.
Exactly. No Geritol or Medicare. We might use a little Clairol, but other than that, we don't need the rest of it.
Yeah, that's right. And I always send these things to you back and forth in a pawn shop in Chicago on a sunny.
Oh yes.
A couple of days.
I thoroughly enjoy that. And a lot of the fans listening right now don't even, and I apologize to you, you don't understand what we're talking about, but sometimes Wayne will send me an email or something or a message, and he'll give me one line to a country song, and I'll come back to the second line, and before you know it, we'll go to 10 or 15 emails, and we've done written a country song.
Yes, we do. And as I was leaving Las Vegas at 4 a.m., Thursday morning, headed to Syracuse, Jerry Briscoe was still sitting at the bar, and I walked by and I said, "If you're Big Star bound, let me tell you, it's a long, hard ride."
I love Jerry Briscoe with my heart and my soul. He's a brother to me. He's one of those guys that, and you know what I'm talking about. I just love him dearly. I got to spend a lot of time with him at WrestleMania this year, and his young son Wes, who's going through developmental right now for WWE down in Florida. I got to spend some time with Jerry and his son, and I just love him dearly, and I miss his brother Jack dearly. What a talent he was.
Yes, I do too, and both those guys, first class gentlemen, first class people.
There's a lot. There's more good apples in our basket than there is bad ones. Thank God.
Well, I know that you have other plans and you got things to do, and we got some news here tonight that is going to shock the world about the TNA and everything going on down there. And I know you probably don't watch that show. I don't either, and I could care less about it.
but I do. I do. I seriously do. And I don't. I watch it as much. If it's wrestling is on TV, I'm watching. I've always have, and I always will. And I might not approve of everything or like everything, but that's just me. I'm a wrestling fan, and if it's on, I watch it, and I do watch it, and I'm not happy all the time. But I have some dear friends that work for that company, and I don't care. They're always going to be my friends. And I hate. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this, Percy, because, and I'm going to ask Jerry Jarrett next week. You've been around the business like I have, 30-something, 35 years, and and I mean, if you could say one thing or two things that you might see that they're not catching on. Why is that show just they don't catch on?
I don't know, Wayne, and I think about that all the time. I worked for them early on when they first started. I guess it was about 8 years ago. They were, when they first started up in Nashville at the old fairgrounds. I would ride up with Bob Armstrong and his boys. They'd rent a van, and me and Bob and the Armstrong boys would pile in a van and drive up to Nashville. I think Bob was working as like their commissioner or something back then when they first started. Yep. And I worked for them for a few months from the very beginning, and now here we are, hindsight 2020, looking over what they've done. And I'm not the one to throw bricks if you live in a glass house, but I can't put my finger on it. My God, they got some fantastic talent there. Guys that we've known for years and years, and we know they've got it. And I don't know what's happened to it. I really do. I just recently heard that they released Jay Lethal. I don't know if you're familiar with this kid.
Yes.
You probably ran into him on some of the independent shows that you've been on.
Guy.
I love him to death. I think he's some of the most entertaining television that TNA had was when Jay was doing the stuff with Ric Flair. I sat here in my living room and just me and my 3 dogs, and my dog was looking at me like I was nuts. But I'm sitting in my chair just loving wrestling again. I told Jay Lethal that. And he's a fantastic talent and a gentleman. He respects our business and knows the history of our industry. And they got some good folks up there, notwithstanding the older guys, such as Mick Foley and Jeff, and I can go on and on and on. But I can't put my finger on. They seem to have all the pieces of the puzzle, but they just can't put the puzzle together. I don't know why. I don't understand.
I don't either. And gosh, if you gave me and you $30-40 million, I think we could make it work.
In a pawn shop in Chicago, on a sunny summer day. We could buy a little bit more expensive ring, couldn't we?
Yes, we could. I appreciate you so much coming on with us tonight and sharing some of your insights and the things that you've gone through. And God bless you. You're my brother, and I love you, and I do. And we're gonna get together again.
We will, and I feel the exact same way about you, and my best to your family, and you be safe out there on the roads, and if you're ever going to holler at me, I'll be glad to do this anytime, and we'll do part 2. Give me a holler.
Okay, Percy, we've actually lost HCM again on the
okay.
Skype.
All right, man, well, I guess I'll go ahead and go, and I appreciate you having me, and if for any, if you know how to find me, if y'all ever want to do something again, just give me a shout.
No problem. It's been an absolute honor to have you on, and you're welcome on the show.
Take care, my friend, and keep in touch. If there's anything I can ever do for you, you know how to find me.
Thank you so much.
All right, man. You have a good night. Bye-bye.